This call is now being recorded.
So, good afternoon, everyone. In this class, we'll be speaking to rabbit, swine, and poultry, breeds of rabbit, animal husbandry principle, management system, and the handling system, and housing system. And that is what we'll be speaking to in this class. If anybody is there, raise your hand. Let me see you. Just come up for me. Let me see you. If anyone is there, come up for me. Let me see you. If anybody is there, come up for me. Let me see if anybody is there. So we'll be speaking to breeds of rabbit. As we all know, rabbit is a very friendly animal. High economic importance. You can rear it for pets, you can rear it for meat, you can rear it as a laboratory material. There are many ways to rear rabbit and you will make money. Rabbits have shorter gestation period and they grow very fast. And you can quickly make it high turnaround if you're into rabbit production. There are different varieties of breeds of rabbit. You can group breeds of rabbit based on different categories like meat production, like meat, skin, fur, based on wool production. We can have German Angora. We want to breeds of rabbit based on wool production. We have German Angora. We have British Angora. We have Russian Angora. We have crossbred. Types of breed of rabbit based on meat and fur skin production. We have New Zealand white. We have Flemish giant. We have American chinchilla. We have American chinchilla. We have California white. We have Soviet chinchilla. We have gray giant. We have white giant. We have black brown. We have Dutch. We have Argentine champagne. Types of breed of rabbit based on fur skin, and meat production. Rabbits are rare for their fur skin. They are rare for their fur skin. For their meat, basically for their meat, we have breed like New Zealand white, Flemish giant, American chinchilla, California white, gray giant, white giant, Soviet chinchilla, Dutch, black brown, Argentine champagne. They are rare for their meat. And especially the male reach weight about 3 to 6 kilograms. The adult weight of this breed ranges from 3 to 6 kilograms in female and 2.5 to 5.5 kilogram in males. Am I speaking, sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Now, classification, another classification of based on breed, meat production, meat production, meat production, meat production. We have Rex, certain breeds. Rex and certain for their skin, their foreskin, predominantly for their foreskin, we have two breeds of rabbit, Rex and certain breed. For hobbies and pet purposes, there are these breeds of rabbit that we have: Polish, Palomino, Havana, Beveren, New Zealand Red, English Sport White, and Dutch. These are lighter breeds for their, and they are known for their fancy looks. They are known for their fancy look. Now, having spoken to breeds of rabbit, we have different breeds of rabbit based on their commercial purpose, for aesthetics, for meat production, for foreskin production. So depending on the area of production you want to go to, it will determine the type of breed of rabbit you want to buy. Am I speaking sense? If you have a speaking sense, thumbs up, let me see you. If I'm speaking sense, thumbs up, let me see you. If I'm speaking sense, thumbs up, let me see you. That is fine. Now, husbandry and housing. Husbandry, housing, and handling of rabbit. Housing system of rabbit. Rabbit is basically reared inside cages, and the cages are called hutch. The type of cages for battery for rabbit production is hutch. Hutch is size that you have a cage with 4 legs and with net made of wire gauze, and the floor is made of wire gauze so that the litters, their feces can drop. Inside the hutch, you have water trough, you have feeder trough. And you place the 4 legs or the legs of the cage of the hutch above the ground level, probably place them inside a bowl containing disinfectant so that reptiles or insects won't be able to climb or mount up to meet the rabbit. So the hutch can be made of iron, or basically made of wooden materials, wire gauze and wire or kitchen mesh, or wooden materials or kitchen. And the floor is made stronger, of a stronger mesh. So that is the platform where they move and where the urine and feces drop. So it must be reinforced with planks. And the roof, and then you can have a shed that will be constructed where your battery, your cages, your hutch will be placed. So this is done to prevent them from adverse effect of weather, from sunshine intensity, from rainfall, from harshness of weather, or from toughness of weather. So you place them, or you may have like a shed, so that can protect them from the extreme of environment. And the housing system can be cage system, which is hutch, and battery system, or deep litter system. In a deep litter system, you have a big room where the rabbits are kept on the floor. So this floor, you provide the feeding materials, you provide the feeder trough, water trough, and there are spaces to move around. But you must make sure you clean the floor always, because they used to have access to their feces. Rabbit undergo what we call coprophagy, attitude of eating their feces. So if some of them are infected with, because coccidiosis is one of the disease infections that affect rabbit, especially the one kept on floor system, deep litter system. If one of them is infected with rabbit, with a coccidiosis, the whole side, the head of the coccidiosis will always find their way into the feces. So during coprophagy, when they eat their feces, one may pick up the oocyte of an infected rabbit. That is why you need to be cleaning the floor always, mopping the floor, mopping their faces, cleaning their faces. So we have cage specification. If you have 10, if you have 10, if you have 10 rabbits, it's 2 by 2 meter cage specification. If it is 15, 2 by 3. If it is 20, 2 by 4. If it is 25 rabbit, 2 by 5. If it's 30, 2 by 6. That is capacity of the cage specification and a meter square. If it is floor, if it is floor, if it is floor, if there are 10, you want to keep 10 rabbits, then the floor will be 4 meters square. If it is 15 rabbits, the square will be 6 meters square. If it is 20 rabbits, it will be 8 meters square. If it is 25 rabbits, it will be 10 meters square. If it is 30 rabbits, then it will be 30 meters square. If it is 12 meters square, that is cage specification. If it is floor specification and the cage specification. And you can do the same thing as I'm sharing the slide. You see, if for breeding, because for breeding rabbit, you need a bigger space, and it's as shown as I shared. Feeding and watering materials. You need waterers, which is called water trough. You need feeder. Your feeder trough. Feeder trough can be made of plastic materials, can be made of wood. Water trough basically made of plastic materials. Feeder trough can be made of plastic material or wooden materials. You can have improvised plastics, improvised bowls where you keep their especially in cage system or floor system, especially to keep their feed and their water. So it's made of, it can be of plastic material or wooden material if it's a feeder trough. Basically, the water trough must be of plastic materials. The humidity, the humidity, temperature, ventilation must be conducive for their reproduction, for their production. And light, you must have about 8 hours light. In 8 hours, they need ventilation. They need humidity. Humidity must not be too high. Must not be too high. And as I talked about, it won't be well ventilated and must be well lighted. We have exposure to light and ventilation. And that is why you make the arch of wire mesh, but that the ventilation. Even if the floor system, the block wall of the floor of the house, at least to the waist level, must be block, and from the waist level to the roof must be wire mesh. Wire mesh. And it must be open-ended. The construction of the room must be open-ended to allow for cross ventilation. Sanitation. You must take care of your pen properly, of your earth properly. You must take care of your floor, deep litter system properly. Even the arch is self-maintaining, because the arch, the water, the wastage, if the parabench of water in the water trough spill over, it will fall out through the mesh. The faces will fall down through the mesh, so they will not have access to messy environment, access to damp environment, access to moistened environment, and they won't have access to their faces in cage litter system. But they will have access to their faces in deep litter system. Water can fall down. It can create a damping environment which can breed infection. So that is why you must clean them always. Wash the floor always. The water trough and therefore must be kept clean always. Every morning you wash them to prevent a breeding ground for infections and diseases. When it comes to breeding, breeding of rabbit. Inbreeding should be avoided because inbreeding reveals recessive gene, leather gene in your population. So the more you breed between the population of your rabbit, you create high level of inbreeding coefficient. The gene frequency of your population will become fixated and the performance will be low. So when you want to cross your doe, you bring bucks from outside to always improve genetic diversity, which improves production performance. And breeding system, or let me say management system, you have to have a management system. We have extensive breeding. Well, breeding system, we have extensive breeding, semi-intensive breeding, and intensive breeding. Extensive breeding is you just put that's uncontrolled. You just pull the male and female together in your backyard on the floor, and they just make themselves. They just play themselves. So, but semi-intensive breeding, rabbits are kept, maybe let me say 5 to 6 liters to produce 5 to 6 liters of those per doe per year. And weaning is done at about 5 weeks. In intensive breeding, large commercial rabbits follow this breeding system because it is extremely controlled. So in intensive, you breed, you cross this your rabbit in a very controlled manner, and you have rate of turnover of production is very high. So large commercial rabbitries practice intensive breeding. In this, but in this system, weaning is done 2 weeks. 2 weeks you have weaned the ponies. Then you prepare the rabbit for another reproduction cycle. Kindling of the doe is done at about 45 days to 50 days after breeding. After we have weaned, after kindling, 45 to 50 days, you prepare them again for mating. So in this system, you can produce up to 7. The doe can reproduce up to 7 times in a year. So that is controlled, very controlled breeding. So you make more reproduction cycle, and you have more rabbits to produce per year. So breeding can be either extensive, semi-intensive, and intensive system. Intensive. Though don't confuse this with management system. Management system can be intensive, extensive, and semi-intensive. When you keep rabbits in the yard, in an open space behind your yard, they roam around within the confinement, they care for themselves, no particular care for them. They're vulnerable to harshness of weather or toughness of weather. They fend for themselves. That's the extensive system. Semi-extensive system is that you have a floor, they roam around, and there is a place you have provided for them where they come to rest, to be protected from the harshness of weather, extreme of weather, where you give them food, you give them ration, you care for them. Semi-intensive system. Intensive system is basically there in the hutch, or basically there on deep litter. Don't go anywhere. You provide all care for them. Medication, vaccination, adequate spacing, water, So intensive system of management enhances efficient production performance than extensive. Though it is a bit expensive, but the performance, you have maximum performance. Now mating. Mating is you observe sign of oestrus when doe is on when the doe, how do you know the doe is on it is willing to receive male. Ostrus is a circle between one heat period and the next. That is ostrus circle. Estrus is when the rabbit is on it. How would you know? You see the swollenness of the vulva, redness of the vulva, restlessness, raising tail, acceptability of the buck. These are the signs of estrus. Mating should be done between 20 to 20 weeks of age. Immediately when you have brought male, when you have observed this estrus sign and you have brought buck to serve, you return the doe back to the hutch. So for mating the doe should be taken back to the cage, taken to the buck. You take the doe to the buck to avoid fighting, because there is territorial dominance. The buck always maintain dominance. So when you take the doe to the buck, it receives the doe and it mates the doe, and after mating you return it back. And how do you know the doe has successfully mated? The doe successfully mated when it falls on its back. It falls on its side with a scream. Then you know that it's successful mating. It falls on its side with a scream. Then you do that 2 to 3 times. Then you are good to go. Breeding and selection for optimum production. Selection of broiler rabbit. Broiler rabbits are rabbits you breed for meat. You select the male. You select the female. And you must know, you must have desired trait, characters you look for. And if the broiler rabbit, the one you are rearing for meat, big body size, you select them based on those phenotypic traits and you make them. When you look at them, they are devoid of abnormalities, they are not sick looking, they are very healthy. That is selection for broiler rabbit. Selection for wool. You know, you can rear wool for meat, you can rear for foreskin, you can rear for wool. Selection for wool is based on wool quality and wool quantity. Important wool parameters are fineness of the fiber, staple length of the wool, and true fiber. So when we're talking about, we'll talk about Angora breed of rabbit. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Handling of rabbit, handling of pregnancy, kindling. Process of giving birth to rabbits called kindling. It's called kindling. It's called kindling. And gestation period is about 30 to 32 days. You know, it's very short. If you do intensive system, intensive breeding, you can have about 7 times turnover of reproduction in a year. So how do you know your doe is pregnant? You can do test mating. You can do palpation. Palpation is you gently carry the doe with your 2 fingers and be able to press gently. You see like a bead, a lump on the belly. You know that it is pregnant. And you should be wary of false pregnancy. Sometimes the doe may develop false pregnancy and you're willing to receive male and will be shedding his, pulling out, shedding his fall. At the 24 to 28, it used to happen. When the doe is about to deliver, to kindle, you shed his fall. Then at the 28 to 29, you provide a nesting box where the doe will shed its fall and prior to kindling. Kindling is the process of giving birth. Am I speaking, sis? Am I speaking, sis? Management of a pregnant doe. Pregnant doe should be kept separately in a breeding cage or breeding hutch, or you have a different section for pregnant doe. Before 5 to 6 days of kidling, those should be, they will pull it for. That's also you provide a nesting box where they will pull their four, inside which they will kindle. Management, and you don't touch the kittens with your bare hands, or else the doe will reject it. So management of kindling, care for the kittens. Naturally, kindling usually takes place in the night. Don't become, when kids about to, they don't become restless. They move around him restlessly. They jump up and down. They lick their genitalia. After delivery, mother licks them and it dries. It licks the kittens and it dries. After about two weeks, they become boonies. But the baby rabbit is called kittens. You provide for cannibalism because cannibalism is an act of eating one another. So management of young rabbits. You take care of young rabbit, you provide food for them, you provide food for them, the boonies, between 2 to 3 weeks. They suckle their mother just between 2 to 3 weeks. They depend only on mother's milk. 2 to 3 weeks, the first 2 to 3 weeks, they depend only on mother's milk, So the kittens is hungry or feeling too hot. If the kittens is hungry, they'll be climbing the nest. They'll be restless. They'll be climbing the nesting box. They'll be climbing it. So you know that they're hungry. After about 3 weeks, they begin to eat succulent grasses. When you want to carry a rabbit, you don't carry a rabbit by their tail or by their leg or by their ears. You carry them by the flap of skin or their back and turn them upside down and carry them like a baby. You carry them like this. That's how you carry them. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? So there we move to management of breeding box. Breeding box are breeding those you use for reproduction. You must take care of them, you give them good food. You give them good food. So management of rabbit, of breeders, you like I said, you give them good food, you give them concentrate, and give them grasses. In fact, rabbit can survive excellently on grasses, like milkweed, like dried cucumbers, like dried cassava peels, purple leaves, they survive excellently well on grains. That is rabbit. Now we move to swine. We move to swine. And this is another fantastic animal we want to discuss. Do you have any question? If anybody has a question, you should ask me. When I have a question, you should ask me. No question. If I'm making sense, thumbs up, let me see you. If I'm making sense, thumbs up, let me see you. Thumbs up, let me see you. Now move to swine. Swine is big. It's a very prolific animal. It's a very economical in terms of commercial production. You can rear pig, you make high level of turnover, you make money because pork, which is the meat of pig, is delicious and sumptuous. We have two types of breed of pig. Look up in exotic breed and indigenous breed. Nigeria indigenous breed is called West African dwarf. West African dwarf is called, that is the name of our indigenous breed. Characteristics of indigenous breed. Characteristics of indigenous breed. They are rugged. Indigenous breeds are rugged. Indigenous breeds are rugged. They are rugged. They have small body size. They have small body size. They have low feed. They have low feed conversion ratio. They have low litter size. They have small body size. They have high disease resistance. High disease resistance. And they have low meat yield. They have low meat yield. They have low meat yield. They have short snout. These are the characteristics of indigenous breed. And characteristics of eggs, they have long snout. They have long snout. Long snout. They have long snout. They have long snout. They have long snout. Let me come shut it up. Let me come again. The characteristics of indigenous. Characteristics of indigenous breed. One, they are rugged and they are hardy. They are rugged and they are hardy. Two, they have small body size. Three, they have low feed conversion efficiency. Four, they have low litter size. Another one, they have small body size. They have high disease resistance. They have low meat yield. They have long snout. That is the characteristics of indigenous breed. Characteristics of exotic breed is they are less rugged and hardy. They have big body size. They have high feed conversion ratio. They have higher litter size. They have big body size. They have low disease resistance. They have high meat yield and they have short snout. Come here. Come here. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? You can see a striking differences in the characteristics of indigenous breed and exotic breed. Now, example of indigenous breed is West African dwarf. Example of exotic breed is Landrace, Hampshire, Duroc, Large White. Large White is a British name, while Yorkshire is an American name. We have Tamworth, we have Berkshire, we have Hereford, we have Chester White, we have Poland, China, and Yorkshire. Yorkshire is American. So large white and the Yorkshire are the same. But one belongs to large white belongs to British breed, while Yorkshire is an American breed. This example of large white. You see large white, this large white. We have some variants of large white. We have middle large white. Middle large white. That is Yorkshire. Large white is popular in England. It's popular beacon for beacon purposes. Popular England beacon purposes. The variant of it is Yorkshire, which originated from Yorkshire, which originated from Yorkshire in America. Large white from England. The weight of this is about 300 to 400 kilograms. You see, it's massive. It's very massive. Live weight is about 300 to 400 kilograms. Very massive. And you know how much if you're able to raise your pig to this level, you know how much you're going to make. When the kilogram is about 2,500 or 2,000 naira per kilogram. So look, this is middle white, middle large white. That goes for the boar is about 250 to 340 kilograms, while the sow is about 180 to 270 kilograms. The sow of large white is about 300 to 400 kilograms, while the sow is about 320 to 320 kilograms. For middle large white, the boy is about 250 to 340 kilograms, while the sow is about 180 to 270 kilograms. Another breed is Berkshire. Berkshire is oldest English breed of swine. Berkshire, oldest. The litter size of this is about 9.9. Meaning that at a bed they can give us about 9 or up to 10 liters piglet per liter. Look at it. This is the boar of Berkshire. Entire body is black with a white bed from around the shoulder down to the forelimb, and the head is entire black. This is Berkshire, and this is landrace. This is landrace. This landrace. Landrace is originated from Denmark. It has high quality beacon. It produces high quality beacon in the world with every loop ears. Every loop ears. You know, but landrace is susceptible to sunburn. It has very good quality beacon. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? It's large white. Another one is Tamworth. Tamworth is from central England. It has the golden red color. It produced fantastic beacon of the finest quality. The boar size ranges from about 350 kilograms and sow ranges from 250 to 300. That is Tamworth. It has a very fine beacon quality. See, this is Tamworth. This is Tamworth, golden red. This is Duroc. This is Duroc. See how massive it is. Duroc is from Northeast America, Northeastern USA. Duroc is the outcome of crossbreed between two breeds, Jersey Reds and Duroc of New York. Jersey Reds. That's a golden to cherry red color. is more reddish than tamwort. More reddish than tamwort. Tamwort is red in color, but Duroc is more reddish, golden to cherry red color. And the mature bull go for 400 kilogram. 400 kilogram. And the sow ranges to about 350 kilogram. Is that 350 kilogram? It's a massive breed. Duroc is a massive breed. Duroc is a massive breed. Very thick with a fantastic bacon quality. Then the next one is Hereford. It's a dwarf breed. You know, like we have our West African dwarf. This Hereford is a dwarf breed. It's from USA. It's a breed originated from USA. From USA. You look at how Hereford looks like. It's a dwarf breed. You can see it's a dwarf. It's a dwarf breed. Am I speaking? Isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting? So you can make more money if you go into piggery business. Another one is Chester White. Chester White from southeastern Pennsylvania, principally in Chester City and Dale counties of USA. The name indicates from the location where it originated from. The breed is white. You know, like large white is white. You know, large white is white. Large white is white. So the breed is white from Chester and Dale counties of USA. He has droopy hair, protruding scrotum. You can see the protruding scrotum. See, droopy hair. Another one is Poland China. Fresh Poland China. Originated from Ohio in America. The color is black with 6 white print, feet, tail, and face. But the droopy hairs. He has droopy hairs. Yes. Commonly used for crossbreeding program. Oldest breed of swine to have originated in the United States of America, and one of the most popular breed of swine. One of the most popular breed of swine. One of the most popular breed of swine. So you have seen different breeds of exotic breed of rabbit of swine. And in Nigeria, I know large white is common. But a lot of them have been imported to Nigeria. Large white is common, Landrace is common, Duroc is common, Berkshire is common. Berkshire is common. And they have been doing well and they have undergone a lot of crossbreeding. They have undergone a lot of crossbreeding with a local breed, and they are doing well. They are doing well. Another one is Yorkshire. Like I told you, Yorkshire is American version of large white in England. In England. Then we'll move to housing of pig. You know, this is another critical session that we have to take a look at. Pig is the water-loving animal, so they don't like it. So they must have a ventilated environment. Pig house to provide environment for optimum growth and performance and welfare. If you want to get the best of your pig, don't let them have compromised welfare. Don't let them have compromised welfare. So the pen out of the housing of the pig is called pen, and it's always been done in open-ended. The roofing is not in open-ended so that breeze can blow in here and there. So the direction of the construction of the pig pen is north to south. You know, sun shines from east and sets in west. So you construct the house, the pen in north-south direction to avoid direct exposure of pigs to sunshine. And exposure to sunshine produces its stress. Take a look at this picture. You see it's open-ended. From here it is free, from here it is free. You can see this breeze will blow in and out. And the wall, at least to a waist level, you have a block wall round to a waist level. Then from there it is open. A waist level to the area they cannot jump. To the height of the block is to the extent that they will be able to jump out or jump to another pen. The material used for construction of pig pen, you need block, you need roofing sheet, you need planks, you need galvanized sheet, you need galvanized pole as a pillar. You can use block wall as a pillar, you can use concrete wall as a pillar, you can use pole as a pillar. So this is exactly how a pen looks like. You see that the walkway in between, left append, right append, you move within the walkway. You carry your feed within the walkway. You can wash the pen from the left pen to right pen into a drainage within the walkway that will take the water out of your pen. You see, so that is the construction of big pen. You don't separate pig pen close to waterlogged areas. And the floor must be made of reinforced concrete because they can eat the floor. They can eat the floor. Especially when they're hungry, they begin to eat. And when they take the cement is sweet. Because the cement is sweet, they will begin to dig into the floor and heat up the cement and heat up the floor. So if the floor is made of reinforced concrete, so that it will be difficult for them to eat. And the floor should be of rough, don't be too slippery, and should be of rough surfaces. It should be of rough surfaces. Should be of rough surfaces. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? So, like I said, the floor should be of rough surfaces. Construction of the block wall, fantastic. I'm seeing Michael here. I'm seeing Michael, fantastic. Fantastic. Michael, am I speaking sense? Fantastic. I'm seeing Sabo here, fantastic. So, having said that, I told the construction of the block wall, about 115 meter, a 115 millimeter wall is strong, the thickness of the wall. So you use 9 inches block to make the wall. See, let me tell you something. When you inch on the floor, you create a feeding pond and a wallowing pond. Wallowing pond is where you put the water they drink and they wallow. Pig does not swim, pigs wallow. Pig does not swim, pigs wallow. Pigs wallow. So during dry season, they wallow to the left, they wallow to the right inside the pond. They drink water from the pond. You create a feeding pond where you drop their feed. You can if you are doing extensive system, you improvise a big ditch where they can wallow, made of concrete, a ditch, a shallow pond. And you can use a trailer wire. You cut it into two as a feeding trough. You put their feed inside it. The big trailer wire cut into two. You put their feed inside. If you are practicing an extensive system, but if you are doing intensive system, and pig perform best in intensive system. Anything you give to pig, they will eat it. That is the beauty of it. They will do well with it. So, but the wallowing pond, you create a pipe that with a valve that can take the water away into drains. So because you must wash your pen in the morning, you must wash in the evening. You must sweep your pen in the morning, you must sweep it in the evening. You wash the water, the wallowing pond and the feeding pond in the morning, you wash it in the evening. If you do that, you'll never see fly in your pen. Your pen will always be clean. You can train your pig where you want them to urinate, where you want them to defecate. How do you do it? If your pig draws defecate here, pig the feces to where you want it, maybe one corner of the room. You do that for 3, 4, 5 weeks by conditioning. Conditioning, the pig will be defecating where you are dropping, where you have taught it to drop the feces. If the pig is urinating anywhere, use foam, pack the water. You clean it. You can go and be dropping the urine at the corner where you want them to urinate. By conditioning, they will learn to urinate at a particular point and defecate. Pigs are not dirty animals. If you make them to be dirty, they'll be dirty. If you make them to be neat, they'll be neat. Am I speaking sense? 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 So you train them. So you clean in the morning, you give them feed in the morning, you can give them vegetables in the afternoon, and give them feed in the evening. And the major of you give them is beauty waste from beauty, where they make production of beer, production of malt. They eat vegetables, banana leaves, purple leaves, vegetables, boiled cassava, what do I call it? Dried cassava peels, remnant of food. When you do party, remnant from party or remnant of food from the hotels, they do well on it. Even you feed them on beauty waste, well, the beauty waste is expensive now. When I was small, when I was in secondary school, primary school, a truck of beauty waste about 5 naira. When I was in secondary school, a truck of beauty waste about 200 naira. But now I talk about 400,000 naira. Because there's more competition for it. People rearing chicken, broiler, are buying beauty waste. They will dry it. They will use it as a source of weight offer. They will just put some little protein sources, palm kernel cake or Guinea GNC, granite cake. They mix, they give to their chicken. They will do well, especially broilers and cockerel. But more competition for it is very expensive. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? So in your pen, you will have a wallowing pond. You will have a feeding pond where you drop their feed. If they defecate in their wallowing pond, you remove it, put it where you want them to defecate. If they defecate into their feeding pond, remove it, put it where they will defecate. They will learn to do so. They will learn to do so. Look at like I told you, roof. The roof should be open-ended. Open-ended roof, construction of roof, open-ended. The blocks should not be, blocks should not be too tall so that breeze can come in. Just the wall should not be just behind that, they will be able to jump over it. So this picture you are seeing, and you see the picture I'm sharing, and as I'm teaching, I'm sharing the slide with you. Isn't it? If you are seeing the slide, thumbs up, let me see you. Fantastic, fantastic. So you can see this, this is a typical. If you want to construct your pig pen, this is how you will do it. Can you see the picture on the slide? Can you see the picture on the slide? Fantastic. If you're seeing, let me see your hands. Fantastic. This is how you will construct your pig pen. So, but so now feeding, I've spoken to feeding trough and water trough. Feeding trough and water trough. If you are doing semi-intensive system, extensive system, you can improvise feeding trough, water trough. But if you're doing intensive system, you must construct water pond, wallowing pond, and feeding pond. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? And The wallowing pond should be rectangular, long and rectangular, of about 30 cent so that you're able to accommodate the length of the pig. You have to accommodate, so not pig is rectangular, it's long. So the watering pond, the wallowing pond should be long enough to accommodate the length of the pig. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Now, but if your pen is for maybe like 2 or 3 pigs in a pen, you need a just smaller feeding pond. But if your pen is grower pen, you have many growers, then you may do your feeding pond like a wallowing pond, long, so that the pigs can lie beside it. They can arrange themselves beside it, and they will have equal access to feed. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? The floor of the water pond, wallowing pond, and wallowing pond and feeding pond should be made of reinforced concrete so that they won't be able to destroy it. And they must have an outlet. Like I told you earlier, the feeding pond, the wallowing pond must have an outlet where you can drain the water and wash the water away. Drain the pond and wash it. All your feeding pond, all your wallowing pond, you must design them in the manner that there will be a drainage in this. Let me show you a drainage in this walkway. This walkway, there will be a drainage that all the water will be directed into that drainage, and the drainage will take them away from the farm. Your environment will be clean. You will not see any fly. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? So anytime you want to clean, even your entire pen, you will have a valve because you wash your pen regularly with water. So you just open the valve, you pour water on the floor, you wash it, and the water will flow away into the drain in the walkway. You wash the pen too. You wash the wallowing pond. You wash the feeding pond. Your pen will always be neat. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? And there are materials you use in your daily cleaning of your pen. You use like wheelbarrow, like spade, like broom. You use broom to sweep. You use broom to sweep. You use packer to pack the faces. You use foam to mop the water or the urine. That's the material you use: broom, spade, wheelbarrow. And where you dump the dump site of your faces must be far away from your pen, so that there won't be outbreak of infection and disease as a result of the dump site of your waste. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Fantastic. So you see that different water system. Look, this is a nipple system. Do you see? This is a nipple system. You may not do wallowing pond. If you don't do wallowing pond in your farm, you may do nipple system of what giving them water. So they know they'll just go there, put their mouth, be touching the nipples of the pipe. They will have access to water. A kind of improvised way where the piglet or the growers are eating. An improvised metallic rectangular structure where you put the feed where they eat the feed, where they eat. So these are meant for me like growers. Welfare of, like I told you, the welfare of the pen. You must clean your pen. You must design your pen the manner it will be. You will have ease of management. You must design your pen the manner you will have ease of management. When in each pen there is outlet, there is a pipe, there is a valve, that when you wash the water can go out easily. Your wallowing pond, there is a valve, there is a pipe, and it has a valve. When you open it, you can wash can wash the pen, the pond. And there will be one point of water in each pen where you can have access to water. So in the walkway, you create a drainage where the water that is coming from the pond, from the pen, will you direct them into it, and the entire drainage will channel the water away from your farm into a big ditch behind your farm. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? I'm seeing Michael. Michael, who is there again? Thumbs up, let me see you. I'm seeing Michael. I'm seeing Sabo. Fantastic. Fantastic. So we have different category of pen and their specification. We have sow's pen. We can have sow's pen. We have boa's pen. Sow is a female. Is a female pig, where boa is a male pig. So in the breeding ratio of a boa is 15 to 20 sow, 15 boa to 20 sow. So 15 boa will serve 20 sow. No, the breeding ratio of one boa, the breeding ratio of one boa is one boa to 15 to 20 sow. So a proving boa can serving meat can use to mate between 15 to 20 sow. That's what the proven boa can do. Boa's pen should be about 9 meters square, 9 square meter in area, 9 square meter in area. Make that 9 by 9. That is 9 meters square. That is to say 3 meter by 3 meter. 3 meter. Let me see. You can say 3 meter by 3 meter, or 3 by 3 meter by 2.5 meter for young boa. 3 by 3 for big boa. That is one boa per pair. Older boa 3 by 3. Younger boa 3 meter by 2.5 meter. So you will have a pen. It's basically for boa. A pen basically for sow. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Fantastic. So you can see a boa in the pen. A boa in the pen. You can see a boa in the pen. You can see a boa in the pen. You can see a boa in the pen here. The floor, I told you, it's of cement and concrete floor. It should be steeply slope. The floor of the pen should be steeply slope. Should not be slippery. Should be rough. Do you understand? Am I speaking sense? On average, a dry sow requires a space of 1.5 meters square. 1.5 meters square. That is 1.5 meter by 1 meter. Is a sow in a pen. And the wall, when you make the block wall, you must plaster the block wall with cement so that they will not have access to the block. Because if they have access to the block, they will eat it. But the wall must be slippery. The wall must be very plastered and be slippery so that their mouth won't be able to eat it. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Fantastic. Now see, guilt. Guilt is a young sow that has not mated, that never started giving birth. That's the guilt. A guilt is bigger than a grower. A grower is one you just wean from by 2 months. You will wean the piglet from their mother, and they become grower. A guilt is a young female pig that have not been mated. Am I speaking, sir? So we have a guilt pair. You see, it is section, boa section, sow section, farrowing section, where those that farrow, those female with the piglet. We have guilt section, guilt pen. They are the guilt you are preparing for reproduction. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? So if you are using nipple system, the nipple, the pipe will take the water to the nipple. Now, the angle to which you will attach the nipple to the pipe will be 45 degrees. So that it will be easy for the pig to take water from the nipple. If you are using nipple system, then you are not using wallowing pond. So regularly you'll be giving them water, you'll be washing your pig, you'll be pouring water on them. Because when the temperature is high, they go into the wallowing pond, they wallow inside the pond to cool their teeth, because they have a thick surface fat. They have what? A thick surface fat. That is why if snake bites pig, it can't penetrate, because the fat layer will not allow the poison to penetrate into the system. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? So you see them here, the pig, the jig gilt in the pen, and you see how a gilt is drinking water through a nipple drinking system. A nipple drinking system. So now inside the farrowing pen, you have a farrowing crate. Why do you have to have a farrowing crate? Because you know these pigs are big. So if you don't have a farrowing crate, by the time they want to sleep, they will not know that the piglet is there. They will just sleep on the piglet and the piglet will die. So we will restrict the pig, the sow, the mothering sow inside the crate. The crate have access. You see access now. So the piglet will just have access to suckle. When they suckle, they go out. So it prevents the mother from sleeping on the piglet. Am I speaking sense? You see different types of pig. You see pigs or sow in their pen. You see them in their pen, and you can use galvanized pipe to separate the pen from one another. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking? Some of you came into this class. I just have only 7 students in this class. And I started this class exactly 2 o'clock, and some of you are not coming. And I'm really disappointed. Thumb down for yourself for coming late. Thumb down for yourself for coming late. I'm really disappointed. I expect you to come on time like you've been doing. You've had a fantastic attendance and punctuality, but I'm disappointed in this class. But tell others to always make it a date. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? You refuse to thumb down for yourself for coming late. Michael, you refuse to thumb down for yourself. Thumb down to yourself for coming late. Thumb down for yourself for coming late. Fantastic. Don't come late next time. Fantastic. Fantastic. So farrowing pen and specification. If farrowing pen is most important, like I told you, it is important to prevent the mother from sleeping on the piglet. A farrowing pen must contain a farrowing crate. That's the what function of the farrowing crate in a farrowing pen. You prevent the mother from sleeping. That farrowing crate prevents the mother from sleeping on the piglet. In a farrowing pen, you must have a farrowing crate. You prevent them from crushing or lying on the piglet. So farrowing crate help us to do this. A sow must be exposed, and the temperature of the sow pen to about 21%. That is ambient temperature. Ambient temperature. And they recommended to be a farrowing pen containing about 4 to 5, maybe 4 to 5 pens. That is farrowing section, about 4 to 5 farrowing pens. And each page will about 2 by 2.25. You can have a sow in one farrowing pen. It's about 2 by 2.25, 2.25 meter. That's the size of a farrowing pen. And every farrowing pen must be kept clean. You must keep it clean. A farrowing pen must have, by the time, the gestation period for pig is 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, about 9 months. So when the farrowing time is near, you see some signs like restlessness, like redness of the vulva, like droopy belly, pointedness of the teeth. The teeth will be pointed. You have a droopy belly. The sow will not eat again. The vulva will be red. It will be swollen. You know that. I will move distraught. You know that is time. Time is coming for this pig to farrow. Quickly, you provide beddings. It can be of straw or the wood shavings. Then you bring in the wooden crate. and then you put the animal into the wooden crate. So immediately the animal, the pig begin to farrow, the pig will be walking out of the wooden crate. So the piglet will walk around. When the time to suckle, they will go and suckle and walk around. Am I speaking sense? Though, am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I pig? So there'll be water pond. You may do nipple system or wallowing pond system where you put in the water. Look at, you can see winners using the nipple system of water drinking water. A piglet is usually weaned about let me say average of 30 days. At 1 month after farrowing, you take the piglet out of the mother. They become winners. You win them. You get to prepare the mother again for another reproduction or another production. So about 20 to 35, average about 30 days, you win the piglet. You take them to the winner's section, winner's pen. You can see them there. Isn't it fantastic? Isn't it fantastic? Isn't it fantastic? Michael, I'm seeing Joe, I'm seeing Sabo, I'm seeing Maria, fantastic. I'm seeing Maria Godwin, fantastic. I'm seeing Jacob. I'm seeing Jacob. I'm seeing Jacob. So you see it here. These are the piglets. These are the winners. So pigs are kept in the winner's pen in the winner's pen from the age of 4 weeks until they are 10 weeks. Not about 10 weeks. From 4 weeks, they become winners. We take them from the mother. So they are kept in winners until about 8 weeks to 10 weeks. Therefore, when they become growers. The individual pens of the winner's pen should be about 3 by 3. With 1 meter tall. You know, they are small, so they cannot jump. So the winner's pen should not be more than 3 by 3, 3 by 3 by 1. The rest, it can even be open, but it cannot jump. You know, but you can put wire mesh or wire gauze around to protect them from predators. So you have water trough there. It can be nipple system or it can be pond system. You clean every day. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? So housing system, like that, we have boas pen, we have breeders pen, we have sow gestation pen, we have sow farrowing pen, we have piglet pens, we have fattening pens, you know, we have sick bay. When they are sick, you take it from their pen, you take them from their pen, and you take them to sick bay. And sick bay is hospital. So then you give them special care. And when they are okay, you bring them back to their pen. So you in your pig farm, you must have a sick bay. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? We have a sick bay and take them to hospital. That's again the hospital where you take care of them. Where you take care of them. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? So I've spoken to the walls, the type wall and their roof. Pig now, no, like I told you, you take their pen, you take their feces, their excreta into a pit far away from your farm, because there will be decomposition so that it will not be a breeding ground for infection. So you can use it for horticulture, vegetable production, cucumber, and all of that. And all of that. And another thing I want to let you know is transportation. You transport pig in a wooden cage. I'm sure you to sit around that Lafia when they're taken from Lafia to Makodi, isn't it? You to see pig inside a car, inside wooden cage. Yeah, that's how you transport them. That's how you transport them. So there'll be ventilation. There'll be ventilation. And one thing, before you enter your pig farm, you must maintain high biosecurity. What is high biosecurity? Why you prevent the infection coming from outside into your farm. You have a deep, like what you are seeing here. This one is an improvised. This thing, you see this man dipping his leg, first enter the pen, digging his leg inside this container that is containing disinfectant. But you can do, as you are entering your farm, the car that is entering your farm, the leg that is entering your farm will go through a deep vat. A deep vat is the car will drive through all the infection is carrying through the tire will drive through that deep vat where the water containing disinfectant, and it will kill any infection, any germ or pathogen that is coming. And the boss, that is like a shower in the bedroom. In the bedroom, it will pass through that section. That will be shower, that will shower the entire car. And that shower contains water. The reservoir serving the shower will contain disinfectant. It will bath the entire car. So any pathogen that is coming, it will take care of it. If it's a pedestrian where people used to pass, you have a deep vat. You will use your leg. You walk through that deep vat like a shallow pond. So if they are coming with any germs or pathogen from outside, by the time you are entering that deep vat containing disinfectant, it will take care of it. You'll be able to come in with infection from the outside or from the other farm. In fact, when you are coming to when people are coming to a farm, there is a section of the farm that I call farmhouse, farmstead. In farmstead, you have office, you have where you keep your farm equipment, where you keep your feed, you have where you attend to your customers, you have store. So when you get to the farmhouse, you give them a farm coat to wear, so to cover the clothes they are bringing. So they won't be able to, because they won't be able to carry infection or pathogen through their dresses, the fabrics of their dress. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? So having said that, we move to poultry. We move to poultry. What is the time? We move to poultry. We move to poultry. Poultry. So this is how you take care of in terms of breed, in terms of management, in terms of breeding system, in terms of housing system. This is what you do. I've said something in poultry, in pig. I've said something in swine. Now I'm moving to poultry. Poultry are feather avians, such as chicken, dogs, turkey, geese, ostrich, etc. Breeds of chicken, indigenous breed, and exotic breed. Indigenous breeds, our own Nigerian indigenous breed, we have normal feathered, frizzle feathered, naked neck. Exotic breed can be Jaffa brown, it can be Hisa brown, it can be dominant black, it can be Yacon, it can be Plymouth, etc. They are good eggers. Exotic breeds are good eggers than our indigenous breed. Our indigenous breeds have high disease resistance, but they are low eggers. They are small in body size. They produce lesser quantity of eggs. But exotic breeds are bigger and they produce more eggs because they have been selected to do that by total selection and breeding. We select based on some economic trait of importance. You can select based on pedigree performance, based on progeny testing, based on individual performance, based on performance of collateral relatives. Can you remember? Can you remember? Can you remember? Fantastic. So the exotic breed has been selected for egg production. Those for meat have been selected for meat production. We have two types of poultry: the egg type and the meat type. The egg type are layers, the meat types are broilers. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? And you can see different types there. Management system in poultry. We have extensive system of management, intensive system of management, and semi-intensive system of management. In extensive system, you buy chicken, you put them in your backyard, they fend for themselves, they roam around. nobody cares for them. They care for themselves, but they are vulnerable to theft. They're vulnerable to attack. They're vulnerable to toughness of environment. They're vulnerable to harshness of environment. They're vulnerable to the extreme of weather, sunshine intensity, rainfall intensity. They struggle to survive, but you don't expend any money on them. But there is low production. Low production. Their best is not maximized. The next is intensive system. In intensive system, everything is provided. Shelter is provided. Vaccination is provided. Medication is provided. Shelter is provided. Everything is provided. So this provision enhances, maximizes performance, but it's a bit expensive. But it maximizes the performance of the animals. And we have semi-intensive system, which is a combination of advantage of intensive and extensive. And how does that work? You have a yard. In that yard, you have a shed where then during the day, the chicken will be roaming around within the yard, picking ants, picking insects, and eating. And when sun is shining, they come under the shed and stay. When they come under the shed, they will see water to drink. They will see vaccination. They will have access to vaccination. They will have access to medication. They will have access to shelter. They will have access to care. You see, the care in intensive and the advantage of free movement in extensive put together in semi-intensive system. Am I speaking sense? But a commercial poultry production system does best in intensive system. They live in the cage. They don't roam around. The energy for physical movement, physical activity, they convert it for reproduction, for production, either egg or meat. Am I speaking sense? Even at 5 weeks, if you feed your broiler very well, you can sell them at 5 weeks. At 5 weeks. Am I speaking sense? So you can see advantages of intensive, extensive, and semi-intensive. Two major production systems. I have dealt with management system. Two major production systems: commercial production system and traditional production system. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Commercial production system involve intensive system and semi-intensive system of poultry production for profit maximization. While traditional production system is basically traditional system, it's basically extensive system. Free range system where they can in the sea, but they're vulnerable to them. They can stay with them. They can crush them. Am I speaking, sir? That traditional system of production. Commercial production system. It produces meat type and egg type. The feed conversion ratio is 3.75. It's very slow, it's very little. Look at feed conversion ratio of feed gain, feed intake over weight gain, or feed efficiency, weight gain over feed gain. Feed intake, feed conversion ratio is entire feed intake over weight gain. Why feed gain is weight gain, why feed efficiency is weight gain over feed gain. The quantity of feed they consume is still measuring meat yield. The egg strain is about 150 to 200 eggs in the cycle if they are on commercial production. It is much. It is much. 3.75 feed conversion ratio. 3.75 to 1. I have to say 1 gram of feed will give 3.75 gram of meat. Meat yield. That is the meaning. Feed conversion ratio. 3.75 gram of feed intake will give you 1 gram of meat. That's feed conversion ratio. So in commercial production, especially in intensive system, the feed conversion ratio is very high. Number of eggs they lay is very high. Am I speaking sense? And compared to traditional system, Catching a system that has about 30% of egg production and 70% of meat production. You just look at egg production, you just have your 50 eggs in a circle. 50 eggs in a circle. You mean 50 eggs in a circle. And in commercial production, where you do intensive system, you have about 150 to 200 eggs in a circle. Isn't it massive? You make more money. Management of now. So you see this production system. You will see that a commercial system of production is far better. You make more money. And the eggs, this pig, the fertile eggs are collected from a parent farm, breeder's farm. You take them to hatchery to hatch. Management of hatching eggs. Management of hatching eggs. That's the next thing I'm going to speak to. When you carry your egg, you take your fertile eggs to hatchery. You do handling to check the fertile one and the unfertile one. When you check it through light, you see a black spot. That's that is a fertile egg. So at embryonic stage, 21 days for chicken. Embryonic 21 days for chicken. That is, it takes 21 days for chicken to hatch. 28 days for turkey to hatch. Am I speaking? It takes 28 days for chicken to hatch, and 21 days for chicken to hatch, and 28 days for turkey to hatch. Layers. When a pullet, you call a bird a pullet between the age of 0 to 8 weeks, 2 months old, 0 to 8 weeks, which is 2 months, is good. You call it pullet. Call it pullet. So between 9 to 22 weeks, you call it growing pullet. So let me put it in this way. From 14 to 16 weeks, you call them layers. And broiler finisher, broiler between 5 to 8 weeks, 5 to 8 to 10 weeks, you can raise your broiler. From 5 weeks, you have raised the broiler, you can sell it. So by a point of lay, a point of cage, when your chicken reaches a point of age at 12 weeks, they will reach a point of cage. At 14 weeks, they will reach a point of lay. At 20 weeks, they'll begin to lay properly. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? And cockerel, the age of cockerel that can reach market between 8 to 8 weeks. You can sell a cockerel 2 months. And growers, we are talking about cockerel now. Cockerel chick is 0 to 8 weeks. Cockerel chick, the cockerel is male, 0 to 8 weeks, and grower is 9 to 22 weeks. That's the grower. A layer, a pullet is 0 to 8 weeks. A point of cage is a grower. From about immediately after 8 weeks, they become growers. At about 9 weeks, they become growers. Let me say 9 weeks, they become growers. 9 weeks to 22 weeks, they become growers. By 12 weeks, they become point of cage. By 14 weeks, they become point of lay. By 20 weeks, they become layers. Or 22 weeks, they become layers. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? So you may say, I want to buy layer. You know the age. I want to buy point of cage. You know the age for 12 weeks. I want to buy point of lay, which is 14 weeks or 14 to 16 weeks. You know the age. So that you not say you want to buy point of lay. They will give you point of, they want to buy point of lay, they'll go and give you point of cage. Or you want to buy point of cage, you go and buy point of lay. Now you have known their age group, their age with which they become point of lay, age with which they become point of cage, age with which they begin to lay, age of cockerel. At what age can you sell a cockerel? By 5 weeks, you can sell your broiler. You can by 5 weeks, you can sell your broiler. At 8 weeks, by 9 weeks, your cockerel become growers. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? These are the information you need to know as a farm manager. Hatchery and incubation. You incubate your egg in the hatchery. Hatchery, that is where incubation is done. Hatchery is a building that houses equipment used to artificially incubate hatchable eggs. Hatchable eggs. But not all eggs are hatchable. Hatchable eggs. Incubation for chicken is 21 days. For broiler is 20. For turkey is 28 days. You have natural incubation, type of incubation, natural incubation, where the hen will sit on the eggs. I know you used to see that, isn't it? And we have artificial incubation, where you use automated or manual incubator. And two types of incubator we have table incubator and cabinet incubator. That is types of incubator based on size. Based on size, table incubator or cabinet incubator. We have two types of incubator based on its source. We have electronic incubator and manually operated incubator where you use kerosene stove to generate it. In fact, let me shock you. If you have a fridge at home, you don't plug it, remove it from, put hatchable eggs in it. After 21 days, they will hatch. Because the heat will provoke physiological growth within the egg. And because it is one that initiates the physiological growth. Am I speaking sense? So you can use your condemned freezer at home, cover it up, put your hatchable eggs. After 21 days, the egg will hatch. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? We have two major compartments of incubator. Setting compartment, which is called setter, and an action compartment, which is called asher. So when you set, arrangement of egg in the incubator is called setting. In setter, you set the egg. Before you put the egg, you disinfect the egg, you disinfect the incubator, you disinfect the environment, so that you will not have a problem from the hatchery. Because some of the farm used to have growth defect because of the disease problem, infection problem from the hatchery. So you must maintain a very high hygiene, So at 18 days, you turn. Used to turn. You insetter. If it's automatic incubator, it will be turning the egg by itself, so that you have equal access to it. You'll be turning. But if it's a manual, you'll be turning the egg by yourself. By 18th day, you will move it from setter into the asher, and by 31 days, it will hatch. When it hatches, we have dead in germ, we have dead in shell. What is the difference between dead in? Let me ask you, as a poultry farmer, as an operator, a manager of an hatchery, how can you explain dead in germ or dead in shell? Dead in germ is the egg that failed to even survive at all. It died. It actually formed egg inside the shell, but couldn't survive to hatching day. You will see that dead in germ is when the egg is forming. You see that this one is forming. It has formed. It's no longer egg. It has formed. That is dead in germ. But it didn't grow to become a full chicken, adult chicken, full-grown chicken. During the process of physiological growth, it died. That is called dead in germ. And dead in shell it grows. It formed chicken, but it died inside the shell. Maybe because it does not have ability to break open. Because at 21 days, they will peck the shell by themselves and they will break loose. They will set loose. So they may not have enough energy to break loose. They are exhausted. They will die. That is dead in shell. It died inside the shell. The one that died inside the jar, I mean, that one couldn't grow to become a chicken. Am I speaking sense? I did it. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Michael, I'm seeing you. Am I speaking sense? Jennifer, I'm seeing you. Jennifer, you came late. Why you don't come late? Thumb down for yourself for coming late. Thumb down for yourself for coming late, Jennifer. Thumb down for yourself for coming late. Thumb down for coming late. I can see Sunday. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. I can see Sunday. I can see God doing. Fantastic. Isn't it interesting? I can see Michael. I can see Sunday, Genachi. I can't pronounce some names. I can see Innocent. I can see Innocent. I can see Maria. Fantastic, fantastic. Isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting? Fantastic, fantastic. So you know what is dead in shell, you know what is dead in jar. You know that while the egg is in the incubator, you'll be turning it. If it is manual, you turn it by yourself. If it's electronic, you will turn it by itself. By 18 days, you move it to the actual compartment of the incubator. At 20 days, it will hatch. In fact, at times, at 20 days, you can help some break their shell. They will still survive. If they have not died, you can help them break their shell because they have exhausted their energy. They will still survive. What are the things you need to consider before incubation? You must ensure the fertility of your eggs. You must make sure your eggs are in good condition. You must make sure that your egg does not have shell deformity. Because if they have shell deformity, it can affect hatchability. So your fertile eggs, the eggs are in good condition. The eggs are the egg must not be too big. Your eggs must be moderate. The eggs you will select for hatching must be more moderate size. They must not be contaminated for water. That's why I said before you set them into your incubator, you disinfect them. You disinfect them. You must store them. You must store them at room temperature for 6 days, not less than 6 days. Because the longer they stay in storage, the less viable, the less viable, the less hatchable, the less viable or hatchable the egg will be. So they must not stay longer 6 days in store before you take them to hatchery. Am I speaking, sir? Am I speaking? So duration of incubation, ventilation to provide oxygen. You want ventilation. Like I said, turning at odd numbers. Maybe you turn at 3 days, at 7 days, at 11 days, at 15 days, at 17 days. You turn at odd days if it's a manual machine. But if it's automatic, it has been programmed to turn at odd days so that they have access to it. Because if you just leave them, only one side may have access to the heat. The other side may not have. So there will be deformity. There will be a lot of dead in jam. So such factors, if they don't have equal access to it, it may cause dead in jam. Am I speaking sense? So turning at odd number of days time prevent embryo from sticking, and then from sticking to the side to the one side one side from sticking to one side. That's another advantage. You regulate the temperature, you regulate the humidity. There is specific humidity and temperature for efficient hatchability. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Management of egg in the incubator. Management of eggs in the incubator. That's what I'm speaking to now. So let me speak to incubation period for different poultry species. 21 days for domestic fowl, chicken, 28 days for turkey, 33 to 35 for duck, 29 to 31 days for goose or for goose, guinea fowl, 26 to 28 days, pigeon, 16 to 20 days, Japanese quail, 16 to 19 days, and ostrich, 40 to 42 days. These are incubation periods. incubation period for these classes of for poultry species. Am I speaking sense? Now let me speak to management of eggs. And I'm saying you are following with the slide, isn't it? You are following with the slide. Isn't it simple? Isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting? Fantastic. Now, management of eggs in the incubator. Like I've said that before, you fumigate your incubator at your hatchery. You fumigate at every hatching batch. You fumigate your incubator, so that contamination for the previous hatching batch will not affect the new one, because there is batch effect in hatchability and even in production. I have done a research to study the batch effect of performance of chicken. So you realize that chicken from the same batch perform better than different batch. So that is the batch effect. So you do fumigation with formaldehyde or potassium permanganate, of formaldehyde and potassium permanganate of ratio 2:1. You fumigate your incubator and use to fumigate your hatchable eggs. With your potassium formaldehyde, which is formalin, and potassium permanganate in ratio 2:1. So if you put formaldehyde of 50 mil, you put 25 mil of potassium permanganate. That is the calculation. Ratio 2:1. You allow the incubator to run about 24 hours before you set it. Because if you run for about 24 hours, you're able to know if there are issues with the mechanical operation of your incubator. So when you allow it to run for 20 hours, you monitor it. You monitor the mechanical operation. You monitor the mechanical functionality. So if there's an error, you will have fixed it. Not that you will have set your head and the incubator develops fault, and you have thousands of eggs in your incubator, and your money will go down the drain. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? So that is the reason why you may hatch. The why do you allow, before you set your egg in your hatcher, in your incubator, why would you allow it to run for 24 hours? So that is the reason. To run for the 12 hours, and possible too that you detect certain faults, mechanical, you study the mechanical operation of your incubator. If there are faults you detect, and you make possible rectification of any defect before you set your egg. Eggs are set horizontally. Listen, eggs are set horizontally in egg trays. Am I speaking sense? Not vertically. Eggs are set horizontally in the egg table type incubator, and vertically in cabinet type incubator. In table type, eggs are set horizontally, while in cabinet type they are set vertically. Trays should not be concentrated at one section. There should be space. You should space them. So there are color labels. When you color labels to identify the, you may have a very big incubator. So you may have different types of eggs from different farmers. So you label them. You label the eggs so that they won't be mixed up. Am I speaking? So you label this is from James farm. You can label them as J. You can from Johanna farm. You can label them as Y. You can label at Musa farm. You can label them as Ham. Am I speaking sense? So you label them with color labels for identification at the time of setting. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Now, fantastic. So you turning begins 24 hours after setting, and you turn at odd hour, odd time, odd numbers. So 24 hours after setting, you turn in opposite direction at odd number of times in a day. At odd number of times. If you pick in a day, if you pick 3 o'clock, you go there by 5 o'clock, you go by 7 o'clock, You go by 9 o'clock. You go by you go by 3 o'clock. So at all hours in the day, you turn every day. And candidly, before you set them, you have tested the viability of your head by using candling. That's a candler where you set the head, you on the light, you see the one that has dark spots are good. The one that are blank are not fertile. The one that have dark spots are fertile. Use candler to do that. Am I speaking sense? Candler is done by exposing the eggs to a beam of light in a darkened room. You know, the candler is done twice for twice. While the chick is, you have done candling before you select those eggs to know those that are fertile. So candle basically is done to do fertile. So when your eggs is an incubator on the 5th day to determine the fertility. On the 5th day, no. On the 5th day, to determine the fertility, you check the candle. When the eggs are in the incubator, you check the candle on the 5th day to determine the fertility, and on the 18th day to determine the dairying jam. You know, I spoke about dairying jam. You first of all, before your choice of egg, when you pack your eggs from the farm, you use candling to declare the fertile one. Then you take them to the hatchery. You do necessary sanitation, fumigation, and all of that. So on the 5th day, you do candling again to know the fertile one. On the 18th day, you do candling again to know the dairying jam. Those ones that didn't succeed in developing into a chicken. So because on 18th day, you are moving them to the actual compartment of the incubator. So you will not move the dairying jam. So you take the dairying jam away. You go with the live one. So those ones that are unable to survive after hatching is called, those ones that die between 18 to 21 days are called dead and child. Am I speaking, sir? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Bilal, fantastic. So that's what you do. That's what we do. So though the chick hatch on the 21st day is in some domestic fowl, but some even will hatch at 20th day. But there are times that is given extra. Some can hatch on the 20th day, some can hatch on 22. So you give them extra days so that the remaining can hatch, because there is genetic variability or environmental factor that has influenced their developmental physiology. Am I speaking sense? 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 Fantastic. So you give them 2 days, and when they have, they come with down feather. They come with down feather. By the time the normal feather is growing, down feather will be shedding. So you give them extra 2 days in the hatcher. They will still be in the hatcher for down feather to drop, and for some to still hatch. Extra day, given extra maybe day 2 days for down feather to dry off, and for some that have no hatch to be able to hatch. And if you bring them out, some you can help them to hatch. You still realize that when you break them, you see some are making noise, but they cannot come out of the shell. You can help them, you can break open the shell, and they can still survive. They can still survive. They can still survive. So chicks are fully developed, and they will emerge from the shell. They'll pick the shell, they will emerge from the shell. And those ones that emerge from they will be removed from the incubator. The dead shell, the dead in jar, the dead in shell will always be removed too. And meanwhile, let me say this: those that are not fully developed, that died before handling on 18th day, is called dead in jar. I have explained that before. That is dead in jar. those that died before, they are not fully developed into full chick, are dead in germ. Causes of embryonic dead in germ and dead in shell. There are 3 peaks of embryonic death. Between day 4 and 5, due to transition from carbohydrate to protein as sources of energy in growing embryos. They are living on protein, but by day 4 to 5, they migrate to carbohydrate. They can die, dead in shell can happen at that point. This can be accompanied by accumulation of carbon dioxide, or ammonia, NH3, or lactic acid if ventilation is poor. So this can cause dead in shell. Between day 14 and 15 of incubation is actually with riboflavin, vitamin B2 deficiency. It can, if there is vitamin B2 deficiency in the diet of the hen that produces the egg, it will reflect in the quality of the egg. So at day 14 to 15, it will reflect because they need that riboflavin, and it's deficient in the egg. They will die, dead in germ. Am I speaking sense? Embryonic death. Am I speaking sense? Between the 3s, then between the last day 3 of incubation, due to mismanagement, you can have dead in germ, dead in shell. Last day 3, because of mismanagement, because of maybe technical problem in the incubator, that one has fully developed into chick, but it still die. So you can have dead in germ, dead in shell in that. You can have dead in shell. So that is a possible scenario that can make you have dead in germ and dead in shell. Riboflavin deficiency at the 14 to 15. It can make you have dead in shell. Am I speaking sense? Migration at day 4 to 5. Migration from carbohydrate to protein. From protein to carbohydrate can make you have dead in germ. Am I speaking sense? 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 Factor affecting incubation and hatchability. Inbreeding. Inbreeding reveals lethargy in the population. Inbreeding reveals abnormality in the population. Inbreeding reveals recessive gene in the population. Inbreeding makes the population to become fixated for a particular gene. Inbreeding raises the gene frequency of the population to 100. So when inbreeding reveals the leather gene in the population, you will have problem in hatchability. It decreases hatchability. You understand? It decreases hatchability. Age, the storage, the egg you will use, the hatchable eggs you want to use to hatch. They must not stay more than 6 days in store. Age of the egg reduces hatchability. Age of eggs, 6 days old is okay. 6 days old egg. 6 days old egg. 6 days old egg is okay. Am I speaking sense? Is okay. 6 days old. The more than 6 days. Because if you use 10 days, it will affect the physiology of the egg. The fertility will reduce. And when the fertility is reduced, the hatchability will reduce. Your egg may be fertile, but may not be hatchable. It's the fertile. Look at day 4 to 5, when they are transitioning from protein to carbohydrate, a source of energy. It has issue due to carbohydrate deficiency, due to due to certain like carbon dioxide, accretion of carbon dioxide, or the 14 to 15, when riboflavin deficiency, it can cause, though your egg is fertile, but it's not hatchable. Am I speaking sense? Leather gene reduce hatchability. Naked neck genes in leather gene in poultry. It reduces hatchability. Inbreeding reduces hatchability. The diet that is deficient in riboflavin, when the hens, the parent that is producing the egg, riboflavin deficiency is in their diet, and so it will be deficient in this egg too. So by the time of the 14 to 15, when they are in hatchery, it will affect the physiology of growth physiology. Then it will die in the jar. Hatchability. That's why it is fertile. It cannot hatch. Now, finally, incubation condition. I think the deficiency of riboflavin is vitamin B and vitamin D, and minerals like calcium and magnesium. Calcium, magnesium, iron deficiency can cause dead injury, and it can cause affect hatchability. Incubation condition affect hatchability. If you don't maintain no hygiene in your incubator, fault in mechanical operation of your incubator, if you don't sanitize, you don't fumigate your incubator properly, it can affect hatchability. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? And let us go to simple calculations. Calculations are made at hatch. We have percent fertility, you have percent hatchability, you have percent hatch, we have percent stable eggs. We have, what is percent fertility? Number of fertile eggs. You determine percent fertility with candling. Number of fertile eggs over total number of eggs times 100. It will give you percent fertility. Percent hatchability, number of hatchable eggs. Number of hatchable eggs over total number of fertile eggs. Because you can only know number of hatchable eggs after 21 days after hatching. You know the one that hatch. You know the one that did not hatch. So because it is fertile egg you took into the hatchery incubator. So you now say the number of chicks that hatched over number of fertile eggs times 100 gives you percent hatchability. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Fantastic. So, and we have percent hatch. Number of percentage of the number of day-old hatched over total number of eggs set. Percent hatch. Percent hatch. The egg that hatch. Number of day-old hatched over number of eggs set. That is percent hatch. Am I speaking sense? So brooding and management of young birds. Brooding, when you are providing care for them, you take your how do you do brooding? You go and take your day-old chick from the hatchery. You bring it to your farm to raise. But there are things you must do before you bring your chicks into the brooder's house. Where you do breeding is called brooder's house. That's where you raise your chicken from a day old. Before you collect your chicks from the hatchery, these are the following things you must do. 2 weeks before the collection of your chicks, you must fumigate your brooder's house. Fumigation of the brooder's house. Sweeping and cleaning of the brooder's house. Fumigation of the brooder's house. You clean the wire mesh, the kitchen net, the wire gauze. You have tarpaulin that you to protect it. Maybe during rainy season, tarpaulin, you drop it down when there is rain. When there is no rain or when there is cold, you drop it down like this time. When there is no cold or there's no rain, you turn it up. You provide all of those things. You wash the drinkers. You wash the feeder. You put them in the sun. You disinfect both the floor, the wire mesh, the wire gauze, the wire mesh, the barbed wire, the wire gauze, the roof. You disinfect everywhere. Make sure that they are infection free. So tomorrow you want to go and take delivery of your chicks. You know the chicks are small, they cannot still use big feeder trough and drinker. So you use the cover, the red cover of the feeder of the drinker, the red cover of the drinker. That's where you put the water. You buy your chick mash, then you lay your newspaper. Before that, you provide the floor with sawdust to provide warmth. You lay with sawdust. If you are using charcoal as source of heat, you arrange your charcoal. You understand? You arrange your charcoal. If you are using stove, you use stove. You know, you can regulate heat of stove. You can regulate it. If you are using bulb, you provide plenty bulbs. Kerosene 3 to 5 kerosene stove. 3 kerosene. Am I speaking sense? Fantastic. So 3 to 5 kerosene stove, depending on what you are using. Depending on what you are using. You can use kerosene stove, you can use bulb. If you are using kerosene stove, you use about 3 to 5 kerosene stove to provide warmth. If you are using bulb, you can use about two bulb of 200 watts. You hang it 15 to 20 centimeter distance. And this one will provide warmth for 100 chicks. It will provide warmth for 100 chicks. It will provide warmth for 100 chicks. Am I speaking sense? And the Buddha must not be too big, because at where you are brooding them, it must be very so that the temperature can be accurate, can circulate. You say you cannot put 100 chick inside a warehouse. No, it doesn't go that way. Am I speaking sense? 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 You are picking a thumbs up. Let me see you. Fantastic. 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 So, if 100, maybe let me say a room, normal room. Let me say normal room that you used to sleep. Your normal room, normal size of the room, normal size of the room. So you have 3 to 5 stove, it'll be okay for you, or two bulb of 200 watts, and you hang them 15 to 30 meters apart. So it provides warmth for the chicken, Now, do not overeat the brooder's pay. Do not overeat, because if you overeat it, by the time you come tomorrow, your chicken will have been roasted. Your chicken will have been roasted. You come tomorrow, the chicken will have been roasted. If the heat is too much, the chicken will have been roasted. So when you are even set this, you'll be going regularly to be checking the response of the chick to the heat. If the heat is not too much, if the heat is normal, you will see the chick, they will spread across the room. But if the chick is too much, if the heat is too much, they will run away from the heat source. If the heat is not sufficient, they will move closer to the heat source. You can feel the shank of their leg. The shank of their leg will be cold. Then the heat is not sufficient. You increase it. When they surround themselves with the heat source, the heat is not sufficient. When they run away from heat source, they run to the angles of the room of the Buddha's pen. then the heat is too much. But when you see them, they spread all over. Fantastic. The heat is sufficient for them. Am I speaking just? So before they come, you will have arranged all these eating stuff. You will have arranged the water. But so you do that a night to the day of delivery. The water, you have glucose and multivite or vitamin to their water. Upon arrival, they will take that water that has multivitamins and glucose. Glucose to give them energy because of transportation. And the vitamins is to supply and is for anti-stress, stress of transportation. At times, you have some drugs that have both multivitamins and antibiotics together. You can give them so that you begin to prepare them against infection from the environment. So they will begin to eat on. You spread the chick mask on the newspaper. 2-3 days they are growing. Then you cannot use feeding tray. You can use feeding tray. As they are growing, you can use feeding tray, or the third, you can use feeding tray. And then you follow the medication procedure. Medication vaccination procedure. I know somebody else will teach you that. I should have taught you, but somebody else will teach you that. Am I speaking, sirs? So the required temperature is about 33 to 35 degrees centigrade for chicken. So you hang a thermometer in your brooder's house to measure temperature. It's 35 to 30 degrees centigrade. No, 33 to 35 degrees centigrade. But if it's for guinea fowl, it's about 37 to 40 degrees centigrade. The temperature in the brooder's house. If it's for turkey and geese, 37 to 41 degrees centigrade. So you monitor this temperature. You can see how you can monitor when temperature is too much or it's not too much or is sufficient. Isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it? Fantastic. 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 So then we move to, when you do that, you bring them. Then you begin to monitor their movement. You give them their feed and you follow the medication procedure. Medication procedure, the second day, maybe second or third day, you give anticoccidial. You give Marex vaccine intraocular from the hatchery. Let me just roughly brush through medication procedure. You use Marex vaccine from the, day one, glucose and multivitamins you have given to them. On day two, you give them multivitamins. That are multivitamins that come with antibiotics. You give to them orally in their water. On the 3 to 5, you give anticoccidiosis. So that on the event that they may pick coccidiosis from the environment, they will get a protection, anticoccidiosis. But from the hatchery, they will give Marex vaccine intraocular. It's a variant of a Newcastle disease. It's a variant of Newcastle disease. So on the 7th, which is first week on your farm, you give NDV vaccine. You give it orally. It's a vaccine. And any vaccine you are using, you must make sure that they finish it. You don't to give vaccine. A night to the day you give vaccine, you fast them. You starve them of water. You take all the water away. They'll be thirsty. The following morning, you constitute your vaccine outside, because vaccines are live organisms. They are attenuated organisms. They are attenuated organism that is causing that disease. So they want to use their innate system, their memory you want to introduce the activated form of that organism into their system, so that the secondary immune response, the innate system, the secondary immune response, the memory cell will see upon natural infection. We will see, oh, I have seen this infection before. That's how vaccine works. So, but in this case, you will give deactivated, attenuated form of that disease that's causing that infection in form of vaccine. We have two types of immunity. We have humoral immune response, and cell-mediated immune response. So the cell-mediated immune response work by memory cell. Oh, I've seen this before. It will tackle it upon natural infection. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? So the day you use any vaccine, you take what you starve your chicken that night. You take water sources away. You take water sources away from them, so that next one they'll be thirsty. You give little water, they can finish. Because if that vaccine inside the water touches the ground, it will become virulent, and you are in trouble. So you constitute it outside the pen. You bring it, you put it in their drinkers, you put it inside. The one they can make within 5 minutes, or 5 minutes at most. They finish it, you take it out. The remaining, you pour it inside the bowl. You go to the back of the farm, you dig the ground with the vaccine container, you bury it. That's how you manage vaccine. So on the 7th, you use NDV vaccine. You have many NDV vaccines, you administer them orally. Thereafter, you give vitamins in their water. On the 13th, you give Lasota vaccine. That one to be administered orally. On the 14th to 16th, you give multivitamins. On the 17th, you give Gumboro vaccine. You give Gumboro vaccine. You give Gumboro vaccine. You give Gumboro vaccine. So after immediately you give vaccine, you must give anti-stress. That is a trick. And because vaccine will trigger the immune responsibility, immune potential. How would I put it? It will trigger the immune physiology, your cellular system, immunocellular system. It will trigger it. So next day you give multivitamin. That's why you give multivitamins immediately for 2 or 3 days after every vaccine to serve as anti-stress. On the 27th to 28th, you give multivitamins. On the 29th, you give second Goro. After that, the 30 to 36, you give multivitamins. On the 26th, on the 26th, you give second Lactosa. On the 22nd, you give second NDD. On the 37, you give Kumuro, another variant of Newcastle disease vaccine. Thereafter, on the 56, you give second Kumurov and you give them. But then they have grown up about 15 days old, about 2 months. Then they have skipped through the stages where the infection can nail them. If you follow your medication procedure, as I've explained it, your chicken will not have a problem. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? So that I summarily brushed over that. Now we go to determination of peak comfort. Peak comfort level during actually that is when you monitor temperature. Comfort level, you monitor the temperature. As I've said that when they spread around the Buddha's pen or room, the pen is the water, the temperature is okay. When they move, they gather around the heat source, temperature is not sufficient. When they run to the corner of the room, temperature is too high. So you modulate the temperature. And too much of temperature will kill them. They can roast when temperature is too much. Am I speaking sense? 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 Additional management of teeth for brooding. You clean the pen. Every day you must clean the drinkers and the drinking trough and the water trough. You must clean them every day. You must have minerals and supplements and vitamins in their water. Ordinarily, vitamins are cheap. You can be giving them water with vitamins. It boosts their immunity. Vitamins it boosts immunity. You understand? So when they become growers, after about two months, about three months, they become growers about 3 months. They become growers at about 3 months. Between, let me say, about 8 to about 9 weeks, they become growers. Because the first 8 weeks, they are pullet. From 9 weeks, they become growers. So you depict them. You depict them. You cut the beak so that they not be causing injury to one another. Occasional debaking. And you are dubbing. When you realize the comb is getting too big, you trim the comb. Dubbing is removal of part of the comb. Because when they fight, they attack the comb, especially the deep litter system. They fight by attacking the comb first. And we have the sporing, the removal of honest spore. You know, if you have a very matured cock, you see one pin that look like horn on the shank, very sharp. You call it spore. So cutting it is the sporing. I'm sure you to see that is the sporing because it can cause injury to one another. Toe clipping, by cutting part of the toes, the claws, so that they cannot be injuring one another. And wing tagging is done for identification. Wing tagging is done for identification. And you have immunization. Newcastle is vaccine, Lasota vaccine. Gbolabo is IBD, infectious interposer vaccine. That is Gbolabo. I wish I tell you will keep a second week. And the medication procedure is here. If you need a medication procedure for your farm, you can always let me know. I'm going to give you one. Am I speaking sense? So if I give you the medication procedure, it will guide you to manage your farm. You can start by 50 weeks. You can start by 100. Am I speaking sense? So I can give you the medication procedure. If you follow it religiously, you are good to go. You are good to go. You are good to go. So pullet is between age of these laying birds. Pullet is between 0 to 8 weeks. Grower stage is point between pullet, after pullet, and where they begin to lay. That is grower. That's 8 to 20 weeks. But grower stage begins from 9 weeks, or let me say 8 weeks or 9 weeks, or from 8 weeks upward. So during grower stage, we have point of cage, which is between around 12 weeks. We have point of lay, which is around 14 weeks. You may say around point of cage, 12 to 14 weeks. But I used to be comfortable with 12 weeks. And point of lay, 14 to 16 weeks. I used to be comfortable with 14 weeks. And laying proper begins at 20 weeks. So grower stage begins from 8 to 20 weeks. That is grower stage. So now, when they enter point of lay, around 16 weeks, I'm comfortable with point of lay at 16 weeks. Then you begin to mix 50-50 grower smash and layer smash together. You are taking them gradually from grower smash into layer smash. When they leave pullet, they stop eating chick. After when they enter grower stage from 8 weeks upward, they begin to eat grower smash. So when they enter 16 weeks, they begin point of lay, you begin to see them dropping one little egg. You cannot suddenly give them layer smash. You give them 50-50, a transition zone. 50, you mix 50 of layer smash, you will mix of grower smash, so that you gradually introduce them into layer smash. And you gradually introduce them into the world of laying. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? So method of sexing, and I go to method of sexing. I will determine the sex of it. And I taught you sex determination in animal breeding. I taught you sex determination, where you use ZW chromosome method of sex determination in birds, XY method of sex determination in mammalian species. We have bar bodies and chromatin, and we have X inactivation method, and we have environment method of sex determination. But in chicken, we use ZW. When you take blood sample or amniotic fluid, you set ZZ, you do the cardiological analysis in the lab. I can't take you more than 1 hour. Cardiological analysis, you take the amniotic fluid, you can study the cardiological analysis, you know the sex, the chromosome they have. Sex is male, sex W is female, opposite of what we have in man. Am I speaking sense? And we have feather. We have biochemical test sexing. we use DNA analysis. You can use DNA analysis to do that. Sexing is when you try to differentiate between the sexes of the whether they're male or female. And we have instrument sexing. This is an optical instrument that we somehow use similar to I know the periscope, but it's like used to monitor. You use that. It's like a periscope, maybe the periscope, like a periscope. You use to monitor the event. You to monitor the event, and you have to see if it is male or female. A male chick has two testicles. You will see when you use the optical instrument. You see the two testicles, and the wild female have only one ovary located on the left side. On the left side. No, we have birth sexing, but developed by Japanese for visual examination of the cloaca. You understand? One auto sexing, that is chromosome. That is chromosome. XY chromosome and all of that. But in chicken, it's XZ. XZ. XX, XX for male, XW for female. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? ZZ for female, for male, ZW for ZW for male, for female, W for female. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? And another one is the feather. Another one is feather. Feather. Another one is feather. You see, when you cross the road line and red, you see crocodile. Crocodile has to have black and black, like this black zebra-like color. Go to market, crocodile. You know, it's like gray color. Check out, gray color. They're only when they use road island red to cross for that crossing. So the road island red, when you cross, you will have all the cork will have that color. That is a form of feather. When you use feather to determine the sex. When you use road island red, when you use road island red to do the crossing, the cork will have that color. Am I speaking sense? 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 Fantastic. Fantastic. So you can use feather. You can use feather to determine the color, especially when you use Rhode Island red to do the crossing. When you use Rhode Island red to do the crossing, you can have. So you can use chromosome method of sex determination. Chromosome method of sex determination. Chromosome method of sex determination. And you can also use instrument section, killer instrument. It's like a periscope. It's like a periscope to inspect the rectum. auto sexing. When you use this between the sex chromosome. Am I speaking sense? For instance, we have Z-linked trait and W-linked trait. ZZ is male. ZW is male. Is female. ZZ is male. ZW is female. Now, when you cross the bar color of cockerel, when you cross, you that is color, because that color is sex linked. So when you cross in terms of the feather, when you cross Rhode Island Red male and bad Plymouth Rock, Rhode Island Red male and bad Plymouth Rock, when you cross them together, it will give you a dark brown pullet, and a bad color cockerel. So the bad color, so that color is sex-linked trait. Only the male that will have bad color. Only the female that will have that brown color. If you have seen brown color of Jaffa, exactly, that Jaffa is the product, that Jaffa brown. When you see the brown, that red color, it is female. If you see in fact, that's what they used to produce Jaffa, that breed, that type of breed, like that Jaffa brown. And the female would be bad color, the cockerel will be bad color. If you have gone to poultry, you see brown, isn't it? Brown chicken, Jaffa brown, or Easter brown. But in the cockerel, if you use Rhode Island Red and Plymouth, you will have bad cockerel, that is color, and brown, like Jaffa brown. So you use the feather to determine the sex. That is auto sexing, using chromosome / feather, using auto sexing, using auto sexing. Am I speaking sense? Using feather color, auto sexing, showing feather color, a sex-linked trait, a sex-linked trait. Am I speaking sense? Isn't it interesting? Fantastic. So when you cross Rhode Island Red male and Plymouth Rock, the color they exhibit sex-linked trait. The bad color is cockerel, while the brown one is female, is N, as we see in Jaffa, especially in Jaffa brown. Then we move to management of layers. I've spoken to all of this. A cage system, housing system. We have cage system and debrider system. Housing system and cage system. Housing system and cage system. Remember, a bird can live for about 72 weeks. A bird can live up to about 2 years. 1 year, second year, you call them out. So housing system, management housing system, you have cage system or debrider system. Cage system where you buy cage is expensive, but debrider system just find a room, put shavings on the floor, set your drinkers and set your water trough, and you are good to go. But it is labor intensive. It is what? Labor intensive. But cage system is, it has ease of management. Just put your chicken in the cage. If you want to make it so very easy to manage, as a ditch, create a ditch, a rectangular ditch. Put the cage on it. All the droppings will be falling into the ditch, and you have an opening with a big vent, with big pipe, with valve that you can use. You can use to drain away the litter into a deep pit at the back of your farm. So when you're just flushing water from the top, you construct the ditch in a way that it has gradient, a slopy gradient, a steep slope gradient. That when you're flushing water from up into the ditch, into the rectangular ditch where you are on which you are placing your cage, the water will just flush in your litters. It will take them away. You open the outer vent with valve, it takes it into the egg into the ditch at the back of your farm. So easy to manage, but it is capital intensive. But if you have done it, you have done it once. You don't need more labor. It is less labor intensive, while deep litter system is labor intensive. You lose more egg in deep litter because at times when they're hungry, they peck their egg, they drink the egg, and when they have tested the egg, they will not stop from drinking it because of the taste. Deficiency of certain minerals make them to be drinking their egg, or when they are hungry, make them to be drinking their eggs. Am I speaking sense? But in cage system, they have no access to their egg because it will roll out. In deep litter, the egg at times will be dirty, especially if they don't use their nesting box. Because in deep litter system, you have to provide nesting box where they will be laying their eggs. At times the egg may be dirty, but in cage system, the egg will not be dirty. You understand? So advantages, that's what I'm saying, advantages of it. And your birds should be transferred to the laying quarters of deep litter system or battery cage, maybe at the age of maybe at point of cage, you can take your chicken to the point of cage at 12 weeks, 12 to 14 weeks, you take them to the cage. Advantage of battery cage system: more pullets are kept within a small area, especially if you have three tires of battery cage. You can have even 4 tires of battery cage. Within a small area, you can keep more number of birds. Broodiness is eliminated. Brooding is maybe sitting on their eggs and all of that. Sand batting will be eliminated because they use it, they move around in the deep litter system. The energy for egg production, they will still use part of it for physical activity. That is not available in cage system. The removal of unproductive birds is easier in cage system, unlike deep litter system. Eggs are cleaner in cage system. The occurrence of drinking of the egg is lesser in cage system. It's lesser in cage system. And in cage system, disinfection like coccidiosis will never happen. But it will always happen in deep litter system because they have access to their faces. But in cage system, they don't have access to their faces, so you will not even have issue of coccidiosis. Issue of coccidiosis will always happen in deep litter system. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Eggs are frequently collected, are less frequently collected in cage system because you can pick egg in the morning, go in the afternoon, and go in the evening. But in deep litter system, you must be going there to be picking your egg regularly, or else they may drink it, they may break it, they may mess it up with their faces. Disadvantage of cage system is expensive to buy. The initial capital outlay is expensive to buy. Cost of buying cage, cost of construction of cage, cost of construction of the ditch that the little faces will be falling into is expensive. High percentage of blood spot in egg. Internal quality egg drops. Do you understand? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Fly problem are higher with cage system. Immediately they have opportunity to escape, they'll be running up and down. They run away because they have no access for physical activity. No access for sandbar, for brooding. So anytime there's opportunity like this, they will run. So cage system is expensive. It's expensive, but it's beautiful to use. It has ease of management. You have cleaner eggs. Majorly ease of management. You don't pick your eggs every day. But the capital outlay, capital to set it up to buy it. Management of layers. So, in deep litter system, you provide next in box. Deep litter system is labor intensive. It's labor intensive. Deep litter system is labor intensive. It's labor intensive. You must always be picking the eggs every time. You must be changing the litter regularly so that it will not provide a breeding ground for infection. Because the water used to spill over. You have to buy nesting box. You line it up on the side of the pen so that they can be laying into it. You have wooden shavings to bed their floor to provide warmth. So these are the management. You pick their eggs regularly, or else they may break it. Because when they have no food to eat, when they're hungry, they may break it, and they may drink it. Sign of onset of laying in chicken. Bird will begin to cackle. They begin to cackle. They begin to cackle. Make a noise through their throats. The time of laying is coming. The combs and wattles will be bright and red. Will be bright and red. Will be bright and red. When you touch them, they will stoop down. When you touch the chicken, they will stoop down. Meaning that they are about to begin to lay. These are the signs of laying. They stoop down. When you touch them, they stoop down. The birds tend to stoop. They'll be cackled. That is cackle sound. That the time of laying has approached. The water will be brightly red. Will be bright and red. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Other routine management on layers. You remove dead birds. You must have a sick bay. You remove dead birds on time. You give feed in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. And you must go regularly to be spreading the feed. Otherwise, the dominant one will be eating them. You must go regularly, maybe at 3 hours or at odd hours time. You'll be going there to be spreading the feed so that they will have access to feed. You in the morning, and in the morning you wash the water off, and they can every morning. You wash it every morning. You wash it every morning. You wash it every morning. And for instance, if you pick the egg in the morning around 8 to 9, you pick in the afternoon around 12 to 1, you pick in the evening around 4 to 5. You pick them. And you have egg trays on which you pick the eggs. Like occasional management, like calling calling removal of sick one, that is calling, or unproductive one, that is calling. You do calling where they are sick to prevent presence of diseases, to increase quality of stock, and to make more space for the birds for efficient to maximize production. Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? Am I speaking sense? So with this, I've come to the end of this class. And I enjoy to be very hardworking and do what is right at all times. Be very hardworking and do what is right at all times. I thank you for your time. I'm going to send the summary this class. There will be summary of this class. I'm going to send a summary to you. Summary note. It's not the lecture note per se, but I'm going to forward the lecture note to you. I will send the summary note to you, and I'm going to send the recorded video of this class to you, so that you're listening to it and it can brighten your understanding. Any question? Any question? Any question? Jennifer, I was in prayer, sir. Sorry for the lateness. I was in prayer. All of us used to pray too. All of us used to pray too. All of us used to pray too. But let me tell you, I'm sure you to read litany in church. We should do what is right at the right time. You know, Lent is coming very soon. And we pray Lent to say, Father, forgive us. We have left undone what we're supposed to do. And we have done what we have done what we're supposed to, we have left what we're supposed to do undone, and we have done what we ought not to do in the place of them. Lord, in your mercy, have mercy on us. And if you are doing the right thing at the wrong time, or you are doing the wrong thing at the right time, when it's time for class, it's not the time for prayer. So I'm going to pray for you. You have left undone what you're supposed to do. You have done the right thing at the wrong time. May Lord have mercy on you. Say amen and thumbs up. Say amen and thumbs up. Fantastic. So we're coming to the end of this class. Maybe tomorrow I will send these materials to you to brighten your understanding. So I wish you the best of luck. And I wish you the very best. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.